Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anu. I'm a holistic mindset and life coach, and I'm here to remind you that you can be, do, and have anything that you want. I offer one-on-one coaching. You can find all the details in the description box below. You can just get one call, or you can do an entire package, which is of 28 days, where we really focus on reprogramming your mind and getting your dreams and goals. The package includes call twice a week, 1 hour call each, and daily exercises for 28 days. Anyway, let's start with the video. I still don't know what to call this because I had this beautiful realization. I think this is gold. I had a client who watched all the previous videos, so maybe this helps you to understand where I'm coming from, where I do talk about reality being an illusion. I talked about the ego and the higher self, the power of imagination, and all of that. And this client had watched all those videos, but came from a place of identifying with past events and traumas. So has been labeled continuously in the past about who they are. And when we talked about creating an ideal life or creating a dream version of them, they said, it's not possible because this is what I've been told, because of my trauma, I cannot do it, blah, blah, blah. I did also make another video on trauma and consciousness. Go watch that as well if you can relate to what I'm talking about. If you feel that you cannot dream or you cannot create an ideal life or your dream life based on your past experiences because you've got proof why things don't work out for you, then this video is for you. A simple analogy or a simple example that I would like to mention before we start is, let's just say you have a clean slate. You've been given a clean canvas and you've been told that you can do whatever you want. You know, this is going to be your life and you can write down everything that you want to achieve. Most of the times we limit ourselves without knowing or without being aware of our limitation, and we settle for the bare minimum because this is our reality, right? So for instance, you might want to say that what I want from my heart, oceanfront view and this beautiful house overlooking the valley, or whatever. But the mind tells you that's not possible. You've got to be kidding. Look at you. Look at you. You're in the heart of the city. You're in the middle of nowhere. And you want an oceanfront view, or you want a view of the valley. That's not possible. That's your mind. So most of the time you're battling between the mind and the heart. The heart wants what it wants, but the mind is the one to stop you. But I'm here today talking about how to ease it. For the next 20 minutes, I want you to keep aside all your identifications, okay? I want you to keep aside your name, your gender, your religious belief, your family situations, your financial situations, your job situations, your health problems, everything that happened to you in the past, whether it was money related, love related, emotionally, whatever turmoil you had, I want you to keep aside for the next 20 minutes. And I want you to think of your life as a movie. If you still find it difficult, then let's just assume we are talking about an XYZ person. Let's just say we're talking about Jane, okay? We're talking about the life of Jane, if you find it difficult. And Jane has had all this past experience. This is a movie. In this movie, we have different characters. Jane has a terrible boss. All the exes that Jane has were terrible to her, but as soon as they left Jane, they became the best wonderful men on the planet and went and got married and had a bunch of kids. Jane had to always struggle for money, and Jane was always giving her best in any job situation but was never appreciated. Jane's friends always turned their back towards Jane, and Jane has this terrible life where all her health problems are at its peak. Now, if I were to tell you that you are the scriptwriter of this movie. So this is the interval, okay? This was the past. Now, after interval comes the later half of the movie. Give me a good ending for Jane's story. You might get creative and you might say, and then all of a sudden Jane realized that she has the best job, and maybe Jane becomes self-employed, or Jane finds the love of her life at a bus stop and this man is everything that she was looking for, and then she realizes why it never worked with her exes, and Jane's family realized how important Jane is, and Jane's finances are over the roof, and Jane has the best health possible, whatever. So after the interval, you're giving a good storyline to Jane. This can be your story if you allow it. If you let it happen, you are the scriptwriter, the director of your story. You have different characters in your movie, and you assign value to these characters. If you do not like something, it's as simple as that. You change the narrative. You change how you want certain characters to show up in your favor, in the favor of Jane. Imagination is that simple. We don't have to take it so personally, and because we take it personally, we remember what happened in the past, and oh my God, it's never going to work for me. We leave that aside. You have all the power and everything in your capacity to achieve and live the life of your dreams, whether it's mediocre or whether it's full-blown flamboyant. You choose. You are the main character. I think recently this term became very famous. She's giving main character energy. But everyone, each and every one of us, in our individual reality, we are the main character. In my reality, I am the main character. It cannot be otherwise because everything around me revolves around me. I am the main character. I can make somebody a villain and somebody to be, I don't know, the vamp or whatever. But I am the main character. I can be miserable and still be the main character. You are the main character of your movie, and at the same time, you are the scriptwriter and you are the director of your movie. So what script are you writing for the later half of your movie? Let's just say, for instance, your life has been a horror movie so far. You still have the chance to turn it into a romantic movie, a romantic comedy, if you will. You have all the options. You are the one who gets to choose. If you want to be the martyr and spend your life being the one who's never recognized or whatever, even that's possible because most of the people, we live on autopilot and that's how we live our life. If you're aware of how powerful you are, the capacities you hold in your mind, the power of your imagination, of your thoughts, your beliefs, your consciousness, how powerful you are, you will write a different movie and you will know that you have everything that it takes to live that movie. This is something that one of my very dear friends actually mentioned, so I don't take the full credit for it. But she said, okay, imagine life is a romantic movie. Okay, there's this pair that met and they fell in love instantly, and then something definitely happens, right? So somebody moved somewhere or somebody fell in love with somebody else, blah, blah, blah. But eventually they come back together. That's the happy ending. Now, you've seen that movie. Let's just say the movie was so good that you went to watch it again. Initially, when you saw the movie, you had all these emotions come up. Oh my God, they were so much in love and now they had to fall apart. And then there was a third party and this man fell in love with another woman, blah, blah, blah. And you'll have all these emotions come up. But eventually, at the ending, when you saw they came back together and they lived happily ever after, when you go and you watch that movie again, you won't get triggered by the third party. You won't get triggered when that man finds somebody else. Because you know the ending and you're like, yeah, all of this happens. They move to a different city or different country or whatever. But eventually I know the ending. So it takes away the power. It takes away the thrill. You can also use the same example for your life, that I know what is my happy ending. I know what happens or what is my goal eventually. Whatever happens in between, whatever's happening right now, I don't need to pay attention to it. I don't need to give it any attention because I know what's my goal. I know where I'm heading or what I'm heading towards. I know my ending of my movie because I am the script writer. That's how much power you hold. When you get triggered by certain characters in your movie, let's just say you have a boss that's evil, or a husband who never listens to you, any person that triggers you, if you change that character and you can say, okay, before the interval, this person was blah, 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 so many bad things and was very triggering. But I would like for the later half of my movie for this person to show up differently. I don't care what needs to happen in their life for them to have this realization. You're even capable of doing that. And I know it because I've tried it. There were so many people that I could not get along. And now we can talk for hours and we get along so well because I decided to change the character. It depends on which lens you're watching. Your reality, like I said, you are the main character. Everything revolves around you, nobody else. In your life, it's only you. I was doing a meditation, I think a month ago in the morning, and I had a surreal moment, let's just say. And I was talking to one of my brothers in the evening, and I said, hey, I had such a beautiful moment when I was meditating this morning that I had to cry. And he said, what exactly happened? And I said, I don't know. I felt all of a sudden, there are very few people that I thought were of prime importance in my life that really made me suffer. Or that was my assumption, that these people were so triggering that it caused me a lot of pain. And in this meditation, these handful of people were in front of me, I don't know for what reason. And I felt nothing but so much of love for them. Because I had this moment of realization that you had to be the monster in my reality to show me where exactly I need to heal. Few years ago, or few months ago, I would say, I would have not said it that way. I would have said, yes, I'm naturally a very forgiving person. And I would have said, yes, they did everything in their capacity, and I understand they might have their shares of pain and hurt from the past, and that's why they acted a certain way, but I still forgive them. That would have been my narrative a few years ago. But today I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, people are just characters in my life. To which depth my imagination has to go to assign them certain roles. Could be from my past experiences or whatever, but I assign them certain roles, and I feel these handful of people perhaps could be my best friends on the other side. Perhaps my best friends to make that pact with me that irrespective, I love you so much that I'm going to trigger the hell out of you. I'm going to make you cry, and I'm going to let you find your truth by doing that. Everything, every person, every situation, every circumstance has its purpose in your story. Nothing is useless. Nothing is meaningless. We realize it only when we look back. Only in the retrospective view we realize the importance of it, why certain things had to happen. That's what makes a story, right? I was reading this article about all the people, or not all the people, but few people who survived the 9/11 attack. The reasons why certain people were late that particular day. A woman, I think she spilled coffee on her new shirt or something, and she had to change it, so she got late. Another man got into traffic and he ended up in an argument with a guy in front of him. Another man, he was wearing a new pair of shoes and he got blisters, so he had to stop at a pharmacy to buy some band-aid, and that's how he got laid. So at that moment, I'm sure they might have been pissed and mad and angry at all the situation. But retrospectively speaking, now I'm sure they're grateful. I'm so glad I spilled that coffee on me. I'm so glad I wore my new shoes and I got the blisters. I'm so glad I got into traffic. That's how life works. We are so stuck at looking at the glass half empty. We forget where our power lies. And this is a video for all the people who think my imagination or my dreaming capacity doesn't work because of all my past experiences and all the past people and traumas that I've had. It is your choice. You are not living that at the moment. We have glorified this entire concept so much. It's as if we want to be trapped. We want to stay in a cage. It sounds like that. I cannot, because I've studied all these books on trauma and I know it's a lifetime commitment. Yes, it is. It could be. So what? Should I not live my life just because I have traumas? Should I not live my life just because people wronged me in the past? How do I view myself? Who am I in my story? I get to choose. Do not get stuck in your past experiences. Do not get stuck. Do not identify with what happened to you in the past. Life gives you chance every second. I was going to say every day, but every second. You get the chance to start a new version of you. No one can do it for you except you. It needs your conviction, your determination, and your commitment. Be authentic. Have personal accountability. Accept and then surrender. Know how powerful you are, and then just have that dream. No one stops you. No one puts you a certain limit, a certain extent to which you can dream except yourself. And if you think that it's impossible for you to achieve certain things in life, the best example would be how many things in the past you thought you were not capable of having or doing, but you did. Be honest. Be honest to yourself and make a list of all the things. I don't care how small you think or insignificant you think it is. Make a list of all the things you once thought were not possible for you, but you did it. You got it. When we all were toddlers, we fell multiple times, I'm sure. There's not one child who just one day decided to stand up on the feet and started to walk from crawling. We fell over and over again, but we learned how to walk, didn't we? We made mistakes in our speech, but we learned how to speak. We learned different languages. There's so many places you might have thought of traveling, and you did. Jobs you dreamt of, and you got them. It's not possible if you tell me I've never had anything in my life that I dreamed for. Never, not one thing. It's just not possible. We are doing it all our life, but we do not pay attention to it because we normalize it. The power, all of it, how we experience life, how we experience our situations, everything comes back to us. No one outside of you is responsible. You, your life, your world is a mirror. It's just going to show you what you believe about it. If you believe this earth is a miserable place to be, I'm sure you're going to have all the evidence and all the proof why it is in fact a miserable place to live. If you believe relationships are hell and relationships are not for you because you always have had experience of just pain and breakups, I'm sure life is going to give you more of those experiences. This is where your power lies, to say, okay, this has happened before the interval. Now I change the plot. Now I change the storyline. Yes, this drama was required, perhaps. It makes my movie a bit spicy. But now I'm going to change it. And I'm going to have the best outcome ever. I'm going to have plot twists that nobody would have thought of because you are the main character. You need to see yourself like that. You need to see yourself, experience yourself, know that it's all possible. What do you want in your reality? What do you want in your life story? Take the power away from other people. Take the power away from the characters. They are just characters. And I hope you know of this phrase that life doesn't happen to you, life happens through you, for each and every one of us. When we say life happens through us, that means it happens through our consciousness, through our awareness, through us, everyone individually. So this consciousness cannot differentiate between you wishing for a free coffee or you wishing for an oceanfront view. It's the same. We make hierarchy. We say certain dreams are achievable, certain not, because there's a certain level of hierarchy. We make it. God, universe, supreme power, higher source, energy, whatever you want to call it, doesn't say, I can only give you $10. I cannot give you $100 or $1,000. That's too much for me. Doesn't say that. You say that to yourself. Something that Anita Murjani said. You have to love yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. So you have to write your movie in your favor the way you want it. Use your free will in the best way possible. Make the right choices. Know that nothing is against you except yourself, except your limitations, and you are beyond that. Take your power back. Remember who you are. Anyway, that's the video for today. I hope it was helpful. I offer one-on-one coaching. Please check the description box below if you're new here. I would love to see you around, so please don't forget to subscribe. And also check my other social media handles. I'm quite active on Instagram, and I come up with a new video every week, mostly on Fridays. I will see you guys around in a new video. I'm sending you lots of love. Bye.